He came to Leeds and he knew nothing. He could speak and look at him. No, thank you, Dinesh. I would now like to call upon the President of Doncaster Speakers, Shelagh Jones.
Madam Division Governor, Mr. Area Governor, fellow Toastmasters, and our very welcome guests. Well, you've heard all the stories of how things got started, and I got onto the famous Michael J. Clarke mailing list, and my fate was sealed, wasn't it? But it was in the pub at that first meeting that Michael said, the main thing about a meeting of a Toastmasters club is it's got to be fun. And he said it over and over and over again until it is hardwired into the DNA of Doncaster Speakers. I mean, it just is. Thing is, we all have our different ideas of fun. Now you see, Derek's idea of fun is sort of yomping and being out at night and being in sort of horrible places with creepy crawling and things. And in Canada, for God's sake. But then we forgive him everything because he makes wonderful carrot cake. So Lillian, thank you for bringing me back. Appreciate it. Sometimes we're not quite sure if people are having fun. Never sure with Hazel. Because sometimes the face is deadpan and she's talking about pulling on rubber gloves and circling in drains. And then, yeah, and I'm sort of thinking there must be a tongue very firmly in a cheeky. Jamie, well, I mean, Jamie's just full of fun all the time. I mean, his men are from Mars. It was just absolutely classic. And even Paul Ab, when he did try to be serious last week with astronomy, it just didn't work. And he's the one who emails us in the morning and says, wow, the wonderful time, it's absolutely. But seriously, I think in Jamie we have a future area winner, a division winner, and probably a district winner of the humorous contest, yes.
Yeah.
Michael's talked a lot about development of people, and Jess is such a fantastic example of that. I think it's fair to say that when you first came, it wasn't the easiest thing to do, particularly table topics. And I remember you stood there one time and you just froze. And we all sort of said, just take your time. And then suddenly, it was like the light went on, and this story came out, and it was all about a pink fluffy dinosaur. I don't know where that came from.
Eating compliments in the garden.
But roll forward 6 months, and a couple of weeks ago, with a grace and with a composure that were a delight, Jess was our Toastmaster for the day. So that was fantastic. Karen. When Karen is around, there's always chocolate. And in fact, it is still a bone of contention between her and Jamie and Yvonne as to who nicked the chocolates at the area speech. But Karen's recently single, and during one table topics, she said something that I don't think any of the women would predict, which was that one of the good things about being single, you said, was that you are now master of your own remote control.
He didn't sound like that.
Lisa is another one who chocolate is never very far away from. But Lisa has another passion, which is shoes. Yes, yeah. And Lisa, when she was given the subject, by me I have to say, of pretending that she was Imelda Marcos and pretending that she had to defend exactly why she had so many pairs of shoes, she had no problem. She just went on and on and on and on and on. No trouble at all. Complete. Just absolutely irrelevant. Liz. Now, Liz has probably taught the very few men that we do have in the club rather more about dancing than is good for. But Liz has also been in the TA, and Liz has done some really gruesome things to soldiers' feet when they're out on overnight march, and she's told us all about them. And she also has some chickens that do really peculiar things. So you just never know where you are with Liz. But the one thing you do know is that if you ever put Liz in front of a PowerPoint presentation, do not expect to escape unscathed. Louise. Now, Louise is normally one of the quieter members of the club, except when she starts to laugh. You have the most delightful, but the dirtiest laugh. It's fabulous. And I do remember at the area conference when you felt a kind of way. You were obviously thinking about something in your mind, and everybody else was listening to somebody, and suddenly Louise remembered this, and she got giggles. But she is our queen R counter, I have to say. I've missed a trick because I should have used you later. Michael Bottomley. Now, usually, we all know that Michael is up for anything. He'll do anything. It doesn't matter what it is. But Michael will always have a go. Even on YouTube. I mean, he's done all sorts. But Jamie reminded me of one time when he'd set the table topics. And the topic was, I don't know if you remember it was to describe what towns that you would take the Olympic torch to and why. And somehow or other, and I think it was because we all slightly struggled with it, there was a lot of time left over, he ended up having to do it himself. And have you ever seen that rabbit in the headlight? And there he was, and you can see the brain sort of going. And you can hear him thinking, well, I've heard of Liverpool, and I've heard of Barnsley. And then he just said, I never thought I was going to have to say that. It was so funny. But usually, when he's well prepared, Michael's hilarious. And the one I always enjoyed of yours was the one where you had the guy who pronounced the word quiche as quiche. And then the play on words for that was fabulous.
Yeah, quickie.
Yeah, quickie. Sean. The one thing I remember about you talking, Sean, was when you were first getting together with Rebecca. And, yeah, I know. And you were talking about getting used to having another person around. And you were saying you were in the kitchen, your arms were going all over the place, and your elbows were going all over the place. Was this other person there? You know, I'm sure you've settled it down better now. To being around. You suddenly seem very comfortable close together now. But the other thing about Sean is that I really do appreciate, because if you think that we're backsliding, if you think we're not being the best that we can be, you have no fear of telling us, and I do appreciate that. So thank you. Yeah. Yvonne.
She left the building.
Well, Yvonne is, I mean, she's just custodian of the gavel. I'm amazed that you've allowed Michael to have it tonight, but there you go.
I have my other friend.
Yes, I did see that. I did see that. But the thing about Yvonne is that you can be sure that whatever the table topics is, Yvonne will really find the unusual way. I mean, she was the one who talked about the environmentally sensible way of having a funeral. And it took a full 2 minutes to explain to us how to make a cheese sandwich. 2 minutes, I ask you. And then, of course, we got Michael. Well, Michael said, I'm not going to go into a lot of other things, but he did say, and I think this is very true, he said that if on a Monday afternoon, you're feeling really energetic, you've had a good day, you've had a good weekend, you're looking forward to the meeting, get yourself along to the meeting, because the meeting needs your energy. But if you've had a bit of a bad time, maybe you're not feeling so good, maybe it's just not been one of those days that's gone very well, get yourself along to the meeting. Because after 2.5 hours in a Doncaster Toastmasters speakers meeting, you're getting me at it now, Doncaster speakers meeting, you will feel better. I know it's happened for me, and looking around the table, seeing the nods, I think it's happened for a lot of people, hasn't it? Yeah? So, Karen and Gail and Derek, if you decide to join us, I hope that I hope that you will absorb some of what we've put together here in Doncaster Speakers, and I hope that you'll come along and that you will enjoy coming to our meetings as much as we all do. Thank you, everybody.